so you can know some of the history, okay? And I'm just sharing with you some of my history as an individual and encourage brothers to be independent, to keep a good heart no matter what happens. And so here, I'm going to play to you some of this meeting where they started moving people from off the representative body and saying certain things to the imam, which the imam, he had already gave us, and this is what I witnessed, what he wanted, a representative body. But again, some wanted more, and these are some of the things I started seeing, as although the imam was saying some people was doing things behind our back that we didn't see because they know the consequences. So here, and not putting this in a negative way, I just want to share some of the conversation from that meeting, okay? So this is going to be two parts. And before I play a clip of this here, as the imam said, even before he resigned in 2003, things were building. There was things going on that we were not aware of. The imam would say certain things was going on with some of the leaders, this, and the other, but to be at the leadership level and to see some of these things, and me being a common brother like any one of you, it just motivated me to do all that I can to try to help the imam in the best way I can. If I had to stand up and fight for the imam and speak out against some of these things, because the imam, after all is said and done, he was one man, one human being like ourselves, blessed by Allah, but like Muhammad the Prophet and all other leaders, he needed help. And I tried, like many of you, to do the best that I can, especially when I found out some of these other things, and I started calling for need for new leadership, etc. So here, you're gonna hear when they started trying to move certain people off of the representative body to get people on there that they would have that would vote for them to be president. It was really an eye opener, and I tell you, I think maybe even Imam put me there so that I can actually see and experience some of these things, because he know, like you all that's listening, my loyalty and my commitment, and like you brothers and sisters, wasn't gonna stand by and just let the imam go through some of these things without standing up and try to help in whatever way that we could. Okay, so now you're going to hear part of that meeting. That what you see there, this is the full document of the meeting and some of the things that were said, but I'm just showing you right now my part. Okay, some of the things, what happened concerning myself and trying to get me off the body. Okay, so here you're gonna hear some of that. Okay.
And I think the only other name I think that was there that we haven't mentioned was Mustafa El-Amin. He was a part of that body. So everybody else is pretty much covered. And being either a consultant here or either actual part of the body. So what do we say to Mustafa at this point?
Publications. We don't have any representative publications. That's a real big part of our dollar.
So we got a brother who's actually got a publication that he's still on us. What is his name? Most times. Yeah. That's publication. He owns publications out. And so he's pretty.
You may get on there. I know the name. Rings a bell.
He wrote the book Genesis of what is it? African American leadership of African American Genesis of African American leadership. He lives in Florida. Youngstown.
Out of Florida?
Yeah.
Not African American Genesis, that's a book that was a speech I gave. And it was transcribed and made a publication.
Right. But you have a copy of the book because you told me that you had it.
Africa, yeah.
Yeah. It's not African.
No. He's a young person?
Yes.
Like how old?
35.
Yeah. And he has his own publishing.
Right.
Okay. So still, maybe, not maybe, but Mustafa, what's his last name?
El-Amin.
No, the young one. Mukhtar Muhammad and Mustafa El-Amin. Because one is a publisher and the other one is a writer.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. And he has, well, he publishes his own book, I guess. But I know he's a writer, and he has his book printed by Brother Imam of Luma. He prints all his books. And he has studied the language of the Nation of Islam and my language. And he's written on the two, the Nation of Islam, and so I think he'd be a good person to have here. Language sensitive person for the Dawah. And a publisher. He's a publisher of the young book.
Right.
That'd be good. Well, the publisher, really, he could come on. He should be come on. Yeah, the older in the better status. Consultant. The better status. Yeah.
The other one who's got the apprenticeship, which is Mukhtar, would be a voice.
Yeah, he should come on. As a publisher, he should come on, yeah.
As a voice.
So he'd be a big help for us. Publish books, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So, unless you all have further questions or something, or comments that I should hear, then I'm going to ask you to be excused. Thank you, buddy man.
Thank you, buddy man.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate this
We
meeting.
ask Allah to bless us with success that He wants for us, not that we want for ourselves. Amin. That was my dua. I said Amin. All right.
So, alhamdulillah, so it was some maneuvering, and so they were trying to get certain people that would vote for them, and I wasn't one because I wasn't in favor of certain things, and etc. So, but the beauty of as you saw when they mentioned me, they said publications. I didn't really do publications. Ahmad did the publishing. I did the writing, and so it was good to do that. But the brother, a good brother, when he saw how they had did this, he called me and said, Mustafa or Brother El-Amin, I won't deal with that. Not in the way they tried to do. I said, no, brother, it's fine. I think I'd rather be in the consultant status or whatever that was all about. But just sharing, and my point is, these are the kind of things that Imam Muhammad was going through. He would make a move here and say, we want it to be this way. Now, behind our backs, they would change it. They would get with him and say, so here's the Imam, how do you go from representative body, with no authority but representing shura, to come up with the Supreme Council, right? Muslim American Society Supreme Council. I hear Saudi Arabia Supreme Council, or even the Scottish Rite Supreme Council of the Southern Jurisdiction, etc. But those are the kinds of things that was going on that I witnessed. It's one thing you hear it, but when you get up to the national leadership and you seeing some of the things that we've heard the Imam addressing and telling us about, and have to deal with people working behind his back and slowing him up and doing this and doing that. And I'm not saying anything bad about these particular individuals, but these are the kind of things that the Imam was going public about. And then eventually, as we know in 2003, it didn't just happen. They were building up to that. And so then the Imam exposed it and he resigned, etc. But my point, what I was saying is, before with me seeing these things, and this is 2000, and we go on and we still trying to help and do what we can. Then in Harvey, and I played this before to you, in Harvey, Illinois, when Imam was speaking at the center there, and he said, some of the things that he said, and he wasn't going to be. He talked about people backstabbing him. That was November, I think, 17th, 2000. And again, like I say, hearing these things and seeing these things, and then when he came to Newark, I shared with you, and he asked us to trust him more. My spirit was, what can I do? And, what can I do? I want to step up and help more. And then I started doing new leadership. But here, just want you to remember what he said in Harvey, Illinois. Oh, yeah, and by the way, the Supreme Council was eventually changed to the Islamic Affairs Council. But you can see here, you don't see all of the names that was on the representative body here, right? And then they changed it and, they had consultant, which was fine, but these are some of the things that was going on. And so now, here's what he had said in Harvey. And it was called the MAS, Muslim American Society, and then eventually changed to the ASM, the American Society of Muslims.
And this has to stop. And I'm here to announce today that I'm the one who gave this community the name MAS, Muslim American Society. I'm the one who gave that name. And I can show you right now, it's in the records where I registered an organization. Almost worded exactly like that. Long before I became the leader. I registered that organization because I thought the Nation of Islam just might be lost. And if it was lost, then I was going to use that organization. I wasn't going to give up. I never give up. But thank Allah, I wasn't lost. He made a transformation. I'm not going to give them this name. You're the one who's not in the court with the name. You go. And I don't care if it's all the support, but 1%. I'd rather have 1% straight people than to have 100% hypocrites. So I'm announcing here from this place, from this masjid, under Imam Daniel Kareem, in this city of Harvey, I'm announcing today that you who've been lying to yourself and us, you're not included in my eyes anymore. In my eyes, you're not included. You're not with us. We don't expect anything from you. And I will not be coming to your messages anymore.
So seeing and hearing some of these things, I did what I believe the average one of us good believers and loyal supporters of the Imam, and seeing it up close, decide to try to do what we can to help the Imam in the best way that we can, to keep teaching and doing what we can, but also step up. And as you've seen this letter here before that I sent to the Imam, that was November, what we saw in Harvey and some other things. So it moved me to send to the Imam, as I've shown you before, a letter to him saying I was thinking about establishing an Islamic center or masjid, etc. I don't have to read it to you. I think I showed it a few times. And then Imam Muhammad responded January 2001 and quoted Muhammad, the Prophet ﷺ, matters are judged by intentions. Dear brother Mustafa El-Amin, in my opinion, most big cities need 5 or more masjids. We're asking my daughter, appointment secretary Bakira, to contact you and arrange a time suitable for both of us to have the meeting you requested. Your brother in faith, W.D. Muhammad. And as I've shared with you my letter, so we eventually met March 11th, 2001, okay, in Baltimore. But before that meeting, I did a lecture entitled The Need for New Leadership. I did that on February 25th, The Need for New Leadership. That was before the meeting. And then after the meeting, I did a second one, April 29th, 2001. Yes, the time has arrived, the need for new leadership. What I was saying is, from what I'm saying, it's time for us to step forward and get new leadership that are strongly supporting Imam Muhammad. And this is based on what he was saying and what I was able to witness. That was advertised, that was February 25th. And then April 29th, 2001, after we met with the Imam, me and Imam Ali Muslim, and then we went on and did This Is Ruckus. I'm going to play a little excerpt from both of them if we have enough space.
I wanted to bring you all that information that way, because if we're going to talk about new leadership, what has hurt us is we haven't been receiving the correct information. We don't know why Imam Muhammad has a relationship with the folklore. Many of us don't know why he dealt with Shula. They don't know why he goes to Rome and deal with the Pope and the Christians and some of the decisions that he's made. It is because those who are entrusted with the responsibility of keeping you informed have failed because of selfishness. That is what has happened. It has hurt us. It has hurt us. We here, significant. You are the decisive factor in the progress of the entire Muslim American society. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm from Newark. No, I borrowed from Dr. Martin Luther King. I say it because I've been to the mountaintop. And I tell you that those at the mountaintop don't care about you, don't care about me, don't care about our leaders. They're concerned mainly for themselves and giving you an image that they are in charge of the situation. But because we have been hurt, we have not stepped up to the plate. There is no reason why many of you from here should not be at the national level moving this entire community. We have a role at the national level. We used to have a role at the national level. But brothers and sisters, don't just look at your local situation. Look at the top and say, that's where Newark belongs. Not only for Newark, but for the entire community. Imam Muhammad would welcome you because you, as he has said, has the greatest sense of loyalty to national leadership. You have demonstrated over the years that you're serious about this thing. That Newark and this area has always been serious about this community. And we don't let people just walk in and do anything to us.
Thank you very much.
We've had a track record of getting things accomplished. Now, they feel the same way. They're ready to step up. And I'm saying to you, the time has arrived for new leadership. For you all to step up, for us to step up and take charge. There was a time when we had to tolerate oppressors. We had to tolerate time. We had to tolerate dictators for the bigger cause. I say to you, and I know for a fact, that time is over. The dictator, the oppressor, the tyrant must tolerate you for their very survival. It is over. It is a new day, and it is a new time. Temple number 25 to 57 Southbound Avenue. But I must say this too, we talk about the need for new leadership, but the time has arrived, and new leadership must respect where it's come from. We can't look down on those days with disgust. We can't do that. And we must always respect the honor of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, those soldiers, and all of those that made it possible for us to be here today. And that's what our leader Imam Muhammad is about. He's never disrespected that history. And he's never called upon us to disrespect it. But confused leaders in the association, not being in touch with his mind, have given you all in the public a misconception of what Imam Muhammad is about as it relates to that history. Just like they've given, and this is not an attack because we're moving into our subject, a false impression, for whatever reason, that he loves white folks more than he loves his own people. And that he loves Arabs, Egyptians, and others more than he loves his own people. That man is a lover of his people. He wants the best for his people, and I mean African American people. The challenge of new leadership, of the new leadership that is emerging and rising on the scene today throughout the country. The challenge is to be able to walk in the land of universality. To walk in the land of universality with universal vision. Walking with your brother human beings. See all people as equal in the eyes of God. The challenge for new leadership is to be able to walk in the land of universality with all people, but at the same time, being able to balance that and maintaining your love, your respect, and your work on behalf of your people. That's it. African American people. We must be able to balance that. That is the challenge of the new leadership. To be able to be universal, love other people, help other people, identify with the human family, but not at the expense of your own people. You must love your people, respect your people, honor your people, work on behalf of your people, help those that are homeless among your people first. Help those that are spun out on drugs among your people first. Provide shelter for your people first. Educate your people first. Cry for the condition of your people before you cry for the condition of other people in the world first. Then you walk in the land of universality with dignity as a man and as a woman. But it's been confused for whatever reason. We have been led to believe that we must be a part of some artificial melting pot where our African American, our African heritage must dissipate and disappear. And we must never talk about our African history. We must never talk about our own culture and heritage. Some kind of crazy ideal has seeped in among us. And our leaders who are the shepherds of the sheep, of the sheep, were to be there as guards at the door and say, no way, it's not happening like that. But they have failed for whatever reason to keep that kind of misconception away from us. You don't have to lose or give up your culture, your ethnicity. You don't have to walk away from dealing with racial profiling. You don't have to walk away and pretend like some of these racist bigots don't exist. You don't have to walk away from a man being shot at 40 times and say nothing. You don't have to walk away They were about us loving ourselves, respecting ourselves, growing and building a community for ourselves, and not sacrificing our life for other people's life. They don't do it for us, and we shouldn't do it for them. All right. Let's see the connection. Just as a mother produces her child, the community produces its leaders. It gives birth to its leaders. The leaders, and we are a product of our society. The community produces its leadership. And therefore the leadership, whether it's the Christian leadership, the Jewish leadership, the African American leadership, the Muslim leadership, then you're obligated to respect your mother, your community. You have to protect your community. You honor your community. You don't disrespect your community. You wouldn't disrespect your mother, but you disrespect the community. You talk down to the community. The community, well, you make no accounting of the resources that the community gives. You are a leader over the community, so you're obligated. You're produced by the community, so you're obligated to respect the community. Just as that mother produces that child, the community produces leaders. And our community is pregnant. It's pregnant. It's pregnant with new leadership. We're having pain all over the country. Why is this going right? Why is that? I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that. We can't get those are pain. Our community is pain with labor, pain. Pain. Streaking pain. I need to get a sister here to describe those pains. But those brothers did. I'm going to mention that pain. I'll tell that sister, just take care of that part, and I'll come back up. Streaking, aching pain. So that's where our community is at. That's where we're laboring. To produce something, you have to feel that we say something gotta give, man. This can't keep going like this. We don't have nothing. We're not doing anything. Something gotta give. That's because you're pregnant, and I'm saying the time has arrived to deliver the baby. But who planted the seed? Who's the father? Imam Muhammad has been all around this country for over 26 years. Planting seeds in this community, not for us to be clones, not for us to be yes men, but one day the time will come and it will burst forth with new courageous leaders, not afraid, not cowards, not afraid, not going to listen to El-Amin. Don't go out there like that. We have to go out there like that. We can't be cowards. We can't be afraid of what? We're at a point now where how can we now, 26 years into this, expect our leader to carry us on his back? He gives us what we need. We should be, brother, keep working. But we're ready to carry you on our back. That's right. And I want to go crying. Please, to hear me, Mom, they blocked me again. Grow up. Stand up, brother. Stand up. It is our time. Let's not be cowards. What's there to be afraid of? You said something and they want to run and tell the leader you said something that they didn't like what you said. Are you a man? Are you a boy? Are you a man? We must be men, brother. Let's stand up. Our women will respect us. Our leader will respect us more. Our children will respect us more. Now, when that baby is born, if that father's there in the delivery room, and that baby comes out crying, and that father want to slap slap him in his mouth and say, stop crying? Is he going to say something that cry is a sign of